Hello again, and welcome to the 406-411 with your hosts Bethany and Michael. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Michael.
And welcome to the 406-411 Christmas Special!
Yay!
Yay! This is where Michael and Lynn and I discuss our Christmas plans and Christmases past, present, and future.
Oh my. You're telling me I need to be clairvoyant now?
Maybe, I don't know.
Sweet.
Is the museum ghost going to make an appearance?
The museum ghost?
Yes.
Mycroft?
Mycroft.
Yes. Yes, we have the museum ghost that we've named Mycroft.
Yeah,
He's a very benevolent ghost.
benevolent, like,
Yes.
Bring Christmas presents?
I wish.
that would be cool.
I wish.
I wonder what kind of Christmas presents a ghost would bring you.
I don't know. I feel like there's got to be like a fanfic out there or something about that.
Maybe.
You know, like based off the Christmas Carol kind of a gig.
Yeah.
If not, there's your $1 million idea right there.
If I was a better writer, maybe.
Oh, that's definitely not me. But any big plans for you?
Nope. We're going to open one Christmas present on Christmas Eve, like civilized families do.
Yes.
Most-
A very Christmas story.
Yes. Oh, and it was funny. You know, I homeschool my kids. And we were talking about assignments. And my daughter, who was in A Christmas Story, pipes up and she goes, "Mom, maybe we should write a theme or a report on what we want for Christmas." And I said, I think that's probably a good idea. So I want you guys to write out something that tells me what you want for Christmas and why. And they both go, okay. They get done and they hand them to me and I'm reading through them. And my daughter starts out, "For Christmas, I would like an official Red Ryder." And then she stopped and she's like, "Just kidding." And she went on with the rest of it. Oh, she's a card.
So I've been reading the book that A Christmas Story was based on.
Really?
Yes. It's called In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash by Jean Shepherd. And it's an expansion of columns he did for Playboy in the 1960s, back when people read the articles. It's really interesting. On the one hand, I have been reading a lot of it and it's been coming across in my brain in James's voice, which is a little bit disturbing, but it's very interesting because there's a lot that's taken almost word for word, but the context that it's in it's a bit grittier. It's
Well, I would imagine for Playboy.
yeah, well, I mean, the whole premise, the narrator isn't this just sort of vague, omniscient, character. It's older Ralphie having drinks at the bar in his hometown, the bar that is owned by Flick.
Oh, really? Because on Amazon the other day, I was looking at different Christmas movies, and there's actually a movie that was made with the original actor who played Ralphie, and he goes back home, and the old man has died, and he's visiting his mom with his kids, and there's a scene where he was in a bar talking to Flick, having drinks. So I wonder if that...
Yeah, that's the context in which the book is set.
Oh, wow.
Some other kind of fun things. The Santa scene in the movie and in the play where they're just going up into this unknown space and getting freaked out and then being sent down this ramp. In the book, that's actually has nothing to do with Christmas. That scene happens, but it has nothing to do with Christmas. They're at like a World's Fair sort of exhibition.
Really?
And this is like the Futurama exhibit. So, it's an interesting read because you see where they pulled all these elements from and how they managed to coalesce it into this, I wouldn't call the movie or the play sanitized, but
Right.
but just
More family
a
friendly.
little less gritty.
Oh.
A little less gritty. And you'll shoot your eye out. Isn't anything to do with a BB gun. It's fireworks. So, the seasons change, but the idea stays the same.
Right, right. I read that the gentleman who wrote it,
Gene Shepherd.
Gene Shepherd, when they were writing the script, was recalling the description of the BB gun by memory. And they realized partway through that BB gun doesn't exist. He was
Really?
conflating two different BB guns.
Huh.
So he was mashing two of them together. So I thought that was interesting.
And very representative of how memories work.
Right? Any big plans for Christmas?
No, not for me. I'm gonna meet up with my kids on Christmas Eve, and we'll do Christmas Day down in the Gallatin Valley, and then we'll roll back north here for about a week. So yeah, we'll be just kind of hanging out here. So
you got your Christmas break started?
thank God, yes. Oh, that was getting tiring, but yeah, we are off, and I think most schools are already off.
Yeah.
So I think most are, but yeah, all done here. I know my students were chomping at the bit to get done and get out on break. So, which is okay, but I still got a little grading to do. So, meh.
Yeah, well, we were talking earlier that you guys had a big weekend.
We did. We had a very big weekend.
Yeah, it was a good weekend.
Yeah, we ended up going down to White Sulphur Springs for the weekend. So we went down there and stayed the night, soaked at the hot springs, or as Lynn says, we marinated.
We did marinade.
I've never been to the hot springs down there. Are they?
They're very family friendly.
Oh, okay.
Very much so.
So clothing is required?
Yes.
As far as I know, I mean, it was not an issue. It was not really a decision point. Let's just say everyone was clothed, and when in Rome, you do as the Romans.
Well, when I first moved to Montana, I went to a hot springs when I was in college, and unbeknownst to me, it was clothing optional.
Ah.
So I got to see a lot of Montana.
Love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went down there and hit the hot springs, and then went to Two Bassett Brewing. Just, little local microbrewery in White Sulphur. Takes their names from the original Two Bassett's, was it Stanley and Leroy, if I remember right?
Yes, I believe so.
Well, those two have since passed on, but they have a new Bassett that they call Lance. Lance the Bassett.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I was confused. You're talking about a dog.
Yes, Basset
Yes.
Hounds.
Basset Hounds.
Yeah. But they have a brand new tap room that they've only been in about a month-ish. Beautiful, beautiful tap room. It's very big, very open. We were surprised there was no Christmas parties going on there when we were there.
It seems like it was just about made for events.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a nice place to just chill and have a drink, but they had an upper level. It was definitely could contain and could hold events very well.
Hold a lot more than were there.
How was the beer?
Outstanding.
Yeah?
Yeah, really, really good. I had the Mexican lager and the red ale.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Really, really good. And I mean, it was pretty bizarre because I actually ran into a couple of people that I knew from way back when I was living in Harlowton. Yeah, so that was interesting getting to talk to them a little bit. So.
Well, let's see. You ran into someone you knew in the hot springs, at the brewery.
I did.
And in Target in Great Falls.
Yeah,
because
today.
What is it you say? Montana is a little town with
really long roads. So
You're just Mr. Popularity.
no, I've just lived a lot of places. But
in Montana.
In Montana. But yeah, I mean, it was real good. And after the brewery, we went to this, how did they phrase it? Cocktail lounge?
Their description on their Facebook page actually is really sort of pretentious, to be perfectly honest.
Really?
It was like a speakeasy style cocktail lounge or some such thing. Anyway, Don't let that put you off. It is not pretentious.
It's called the Jawbone, and it is fantastic.
Their front of house and back of house both were just top notch.
You know, I'm kind of confused that they're called the Jawbone.
Mhm.
And they're a speakeasy style cocktail lounge?
Exactly. Yeah, their own descriptions on their Facebook page don't make a whole lot of sense, but
Maybe they just don't make sense to us because we're not
that
educated.
may be. But as far as just if you have an occasion or you want to make up an occasion and just have a really nice meal,
That's a good
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
15 out of 10, highly recommend.
Yeah, because the anybody that lives in that area, kind of the Muscle Shell River Valley area, they know that Jawbone is a pretty common term there. because way back in the day, the original railroad that came through down through like Judith Gap and Harlow and whatnot was called the Jawbone Railroad.
Oh, okay.
It was made by a guy by the name of Richard Harlow, who is Harlowton is named after him.
Oh, okay.
And it's a term for someone that, frankly put, can talk a good line. Like, he was in debt a lot, and he would talk himself his way out of debt, and very interesting. But yeah, the idea of the jawbone is...
Well, you don't want to know the images that were going through my head trying
I'm
to
sure
figure out
they were something.
what kind of jawbone it was, and I don't know. Because I've seen, like, I've read, like, articles and seen stories where people, like, use jawbones as weapons. And
But yeah, it's very well known down there.
Yeah.
Very, very well known. But yeah, we did that, and I hit a place called, like...
did they have a picture of a jawbone
No.
on the sign or anything?
No.
I'm really curious. Oh, that's a cute little logo.
Well, describe it since we're on the radio.
It's the word "the" and jawbone, and very scrolly kind of
1920s-esque.
Yeah, I was gonna say what is it? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the style. What's the style? What's that style called?
I don't know.
Art Deco? Kind of Art Deco. And in between the words, there is an attractive young woman sitting in a martini glass.
Yeah. But yeah, the food there is, so good. So good. But yeah, this morning we got up and hit another little cafe called like Bob and Kelly's or something like that. I didn't quite catch the name of it. You know, just a little hole-in-the-wall Greasy Spoon cafe. Whole lot of Packers stuff and a whole lot of Sasquatch stuff on the walls.
You gotta love the Sasquatch.
Yeah, there's the Sasquatch, but
And the Packers.
Skull Vikings.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had breakfast there and then made our way up to Great Falls. We did a bunch of Christmas shopping and
Ran into more people.
ran into more people I knew. So,
I mean, really, I think all of Montana was in Great Falls Christmas shopping today.
oh, it was very, very busy, very chaotic.
Yeah, we were there on Saturday with the kids, and that was...
It was incredibly people-y.
Yes.
Very.
Yes.
But then we went and saw the movie Wicked. I've seen that on stage, and now I've seen it, part one on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Super good. Really, really good. The lady that plays Elphaba, just give her the Oscar now.
Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was it. But yeah, just give her the Oscar. So
She's earned it.
she has earned it. If she doesn't get it, I'm calling out shenanigans. So, but no, and then we rolled up here, and I'm ready for a nap. So,
Wow. And instead, you get to sit here and talk to me.
yay!
Yay. Hey, I gave you Christmas presents.
You did give Christmas presents.
You did. I've already eaten the candies. Thank you so much.
I think I might have one or two left.
And I'm trying not to make clicky noises from the other one on the microphone. But it's going on my desk at work. Thank you.
Little novelty
Yes.
Christmas present
I'm
there
very
for you.
curious as to where you found these.
It's a secret.
I'll get it out you.
I got them from my friend Jeff.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yep.
But yeah, it's basically a giant middle finger that pops up when you open up the box. It's great.
I saw it and I was like, oh, that is perfect. So,
Well, yeah, and then tomorrow I'll go down and finish up Christmas shopping because obviously I couldn't get Lynn's stuff with her standing right there. But then get that and meet up with my niece for lunch. So
great. Well, I have decided that I am never baking Christmas cookies ever again.
Oh,
And I told my mother, I said, next year when I say, okay, when are we baking Christmas cookies? She's supposed to remind me and say, Bethany, we're buying them this year. Because I baked so many Christmas cookies and then decorated them with the kids. And I was up till about 1 a.m.
Oh, my
frosting
goodness.
Christmas cookies.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
oofda.
Yep, it was, I mean, that's the way it always goes. Like, we make a bunch of Christmas cookies, and the kids are all excited to decorate them. And then they sit down to decorate them, and they do like 4, and they're like, I'm bored. And then there sits like, 3-4 dozen undecorated Christmas cookies.
My cooking confession is I can't do fussy, fancy baking. If it involves decorating or presentation, I'm no good.
Yeah.
I'm useless.
Well,
so my Christmas cookies tend to be drop cookies, and they taste good, but but yeah, not much in the looks department.
Yeah, well, ours once they're decorated are usually not that pretty. They get kind of sloppy at about 10 o'clock at night. And my husband has a sense of humor about decorating Christmas cookies, so we get a few that are, I don't want to say inappropriate because I think that's too strong of a word, but all of our snowmen that
Suggestive.
Sophomoric?
No. Yeah, sophomoric is a good word for it, because I'll go and I'll, make the snowmen with the white frosting and all that. And then I look down, all of a sudden there's a smear of yellow frosting on the side of the snowman. And I'm just like, we're giving these out for gifts. You can't do that. And he's like, yes, I can.
I approve. I'm sorry.
I concur.
I would not be a good voice of reason on that one, because I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And then we have our tree that poor tree. Oh my gosh. We got it when my son was born, and he's 13 now. And that tree has been put through the ringer, and it is barely holding together. And every year I beg, I'm like, can we please get a new Christmas tree? And my whole family is just like, no, this one is nostalgic. We love it. We want to keep it. And I'm like, all right, fine. Like I was telling you guys earlier, the star that we have on top of our Christmas tree, we made that when my son was about 4, and our star on top of our tree broke. And so we had to come up with something quick. And so we got out the yellow construction paper and some cardboard and some glitter and a toilet paper tube, and we made an impromptu one. And it literally looks like a cartoon Christmas tree with this cartoon drawn star on the top. And we just made it as like a temporary thing. And here it is like 9 years later, and we're still using the toilet paper tube star on top of our Christmas tree.
Oh,
But that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's cute. I pretend like I think we should get a new one, but honestly, I would be very heartbroken. And I will be heartbroken one day when that thing just disintegrates, because it's going to happen.
Well, you just outed yourself to your family on that one.
Yeah.
No, I had my 2 help me decorate the tree and put it up, and towards the top there's a nice thick band of ornaments, and towards the bottom there's a nice thick band of ornaments, and in the middle there's not a whole lot there. So
Yeah. We have to have a cage around our tree, because right now we have 3 dogs and 2 cats in the house, and the dogs are very into trying to guess what the presents are before it's time to open them. So we had to put a little, and one of our dogs is a puppy. He's about 4 or 5 months old.
oh wow.
And
Yes.
so he is just full of energy and just really wants to just chew on everything. And so he wants to chew on the Christmas present. So we had to put a little cage around the Christmas tree.
I know my cat, he'll just go lay amongst them.
You have a cat?
Well, he lives with my parents.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you had a cat.
A big orange tabby named Forte.
Forte?
Yep, he's a turd. But yeah, he's just big old fat orange tabby, and he'll just go and lay amongst the presents. He might try to eat the bows on occasion, but for the most part, he's just fat.
Oh, wow. He is a big kitty.
Are you showing a picture of him?
She's showing me a
Yes, yes, I
picture
am.
of him.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yes, he's a chunk. So he's
And he owns his chonkitude. He is he is a content big old cat.
oh yeah.
As long as he's happy.
Oh, he is fat, dumb, and happy.
Yeah. My parents have the meanest cat in the world. He's terrible. Everybody hates him. His name is Frank. And literally, if you walk by him, he will reach out and claw you, and he draws blood. And he is the meanest cat, and everybody hates him. And I'm just like, Mom, why do you have this mean cat? And she goes, because he's my cat. I can't get rid of him. He's my cat.
Well, you need to go down to White Sulphur Springs. The cat distribution system is alive and well in White Sulphur Springs.
What do you mean?
I went over to the office last night for something to, like an extra pillow or something. I don't remember. And as I walk over there, there's seriously like 5, 6, 7 cats just sitting outside.
Oh.
Like a couple of black ones, a big fat gray one. I mean,
The Siamese.
the Siamese cat. I mean, it was like
They were having a meeting or something.
yeah. Because when I walked up and they just stopped and stared at me, I thought the NSA was after me again. So.
Yep, you're on a list now.
But
I give my mom a hard time, but I wouldn't get rid of Frank either, no matter how mean he is, because that's just how I am. You know, I just, when you get an animal, as long as it's not like putting anybody in danger, you're stuck with it. If it has a bad attitude, it's probably your fault.
yeah,
That's fair.
that is very
So.
fair. Yeah, just remember if you get a puppy or a kitten, it's a 15-year commitment.
Yep.
No,
So-
I always feel bad. You know, in a couple months when the novelties wore off, you always hear about people dropping dogs off at the shelter
Yeah.
on the side of the road or cats off, and it's like, no, you picked it up.
Yep.
You need to keep it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I've been seeing in my timeline this week, this is 7 years ago that my dog came to me via the canine distribution system.
Yeah, your dog is a rescue, right?
Mhm,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, all 3 of our dogs are rescue, so.
Yeah,
I'm-
and she adapted better to living in Montana than I ever expected she would.
well, yeah, she gets to live in her jacket.
She does. She does. She has a big double layer fleece coat because she's a greyhound. There's not a lot of
Yeah.
not a lot of extra fluff on her.
Yeah, they're not known for their ability to survive in the Arctic.
No, and I did just get an electric blanket. That was a little Christmas present to myself, and
It's her blanket.
it ended up being a Christmas present to her. She's not getting off that electric blanket until probably May.
Yeah.
No, but it'll be good though. I mean, I'm going to be hanging out with my kids and all winter break, so that'll be fun. And yeah,
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
no idea what we're going to do, but as I say, we're freestyling. Much to my daughter's chagrin, she's the sort that she has to have a plan.
Yeah.
So she's got to have it all planned out, but we'll make it happen.
And this is my first year in a long time of not being on an academic calendar anymore. So, bit of a reality check of not having the 3 weeks off that I was
Oh.
used to. So 3 weeks down to 2 days it's. I didn't think I was going to miss it, but it's a little bit of a reality check now that it's here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm not sure how much time off my husband gets. I hope he gets some because we're moving. We're in the process of moving.
Yeah.
So that's always fun during the holidays
Yeah.
too. But
Well, my old university used to close down whatever the week that Christmas fell in, and then until after New Year's. That was the staff break. And then I always had leave to burn, so I would take the week before that off. So I always had 3 weeks off.
oh wow.
And definite change of pace now that I'm in a new season.
Yeah.
Any big New Year's plans? Are
New
you guys
Ye-
going to stay up till midnight?
Oh, I'm probably gonna try. I don't know if I'll succeed. So no, I don't know if we're doing anything for New Year's or not. We probably will celebrate because that's when we have to. Well, that's when we're planning on being moved out. Is the 31st. So hopefully midnight at the 31st we'll be able to celebrate being out of our old house.
Okay.
Yes.
We really thought if we didn't have to get my dog home, We almost texted you to say, come down to the Sip and Dip, because instead of coming up to Conrad, because they are having a carol sing.
Yeah, big old sing-along
Are
at the
they?
Sip and Dip.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I had my phone open. I just needed the word from her, and I was going to text you, say, hey, get down here.
We should do that sometime. We should have a podcast from the Sip and Dip.
We should. People from where I used to live are, for the most part, getting Sip and Dip and brewery Montana specific gifts this winter.
Yeah.
And Sip and Dip t-shirts are figuring highly in that.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping after the new year, we get a few more subscribers. Please like and subscribe our podcast. And
good product plug. I'm proud of you.
well, I'm hoping that we can get some new equipment for the podcast, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that pretty soon we might be able to get some video equipment so we can have audio and video instead of just audio. So we can do more stuff and show it on the podcast. That would be super fun.
Mm-hmm.
That could get real interesting.
It could, couldn't
in
it?
a big hurry.
Yeah, we could go and do a podcast from Sip and Dip and all these places. We could have our listeners follow us around. I think it would be great.
You're going to take us up to the knees?
Yep.
When the weather is better, obviously.
Yeah. Yep, we'll get you your snake boots and...
Ugh, snakes.
Okay, Indy.
Gross.
Ew. No, I'm not a fan of snakes either. I was telling you guys, when I go up there, I just sit in the back of the truck and I point at things and go, wow, that's cool, from the back of the truck.
No, it'll be good, because I know after I go back to school, after the Christmas break, it's going to be busy.
Mm-hmm.
Wrapping up semester and speech and drama, and then starting into the school play. And
when does speech and drama get done?
Last weekend in January.
Oh, wow.
So when we come back to school, we go to Townsend's meet. Then we go the following weekend to Fort Benton, and then we're at divisionals the weekend after that up in Shelby. And then to finish off the month of January and the season, we're down at Huntley Project for state.
Oh, wow.
So it's one right after the other.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and last week, what the Conrad choirs and bands had their Christmas concert.
Yeah. I didn't get to go to that, but
it was very well done.
Really? I wasn't aware. Otherwise, I would have probably tried to go.
Yeah, no, they did a great job. It was middle school and high school.
Oh.
And choir and band for each of them, and they chose some really fun pieces, and yeah, it was good holiday cheer.
Yeah, I wasn't at that one. I couldn't get back in time for my own kids' concerts.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay.
Yeah, I get a concert every day from my kids.
No, there you go.
Turn on the Yule log or whatever.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah. You can just stream it now and have all the old Christmas songs, and so the kids now know them all and they're singing along, and I'm like, wow, this is really very Norman Rockwell, and I'm starting to feel a bit uncomfortable with it. Last week the kids had a homeschool. Was it last week? Yeah, a homeschool Christmas party with other kids in town that are homeschooled. And I'm sitting there and realizing that I don't know if I'm any good at this mom thing. Because, like, the other moms are so put together. And I'm just kind of sitting there in the corner like, I don't know what's going on. They gave me a job to do, so I would just, like, sit in the corner and have, like, I had to blow up these inflatable things for a game we were playing. And, yeah, I'm sitting there, and the moms are bringing in cookies and all this. I'm like, I didn't know we were supposed to bring anything. And I really just kind of dropped the ball, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know that I'm very good at this, but it's a little late to realize that. But you know what? I have great kids, so I must be doing something right.
You're doing something right.
You're doing good.
It's really funny because it just feels kind of like surreal sometimes when... Do you ever have that feeling when you're doing something and everybody else seems to have everything so together.
That's basically the story of my
I was
life.
going to say that. We call that Tuesday.
It's like I have imposter syndrome in my own life sometimes.
I think that's normal, or at least it tracks with my normal.
Oh, okay.
For what that's worth.
We're kindred spirits.
We are. And if it makes you feel any better, I completely forgot about my office Christmas party.
Oh.
And my where I work is my little office is right next to the break room where the party was happening.
Oh, no.
Yes, I was that guy.
That's fun.
No, my room ended up being... That last day is always chaos.
Yeah.
Always chaos.
Oh, but I always love those. Like when you're in school and it was like either the last day of school or the last day before a big break, and
It was chaos. I mean, there was a lot of things going on around the school. Like I heard other places, other rooms were playing games and this, that, and the other. It's like, you know what? My room's just going to be the quiet spot because it was loud.
Yeah.
It was loud. And I mean, I'm half deaf. So if I'm saying it's loud, it's loud. Yeah, I ended up having my room open, and yeah, I just have kids randomly walk in and just relax and just hang out there, and just because it was quiet and mellow.
that's because nobody wants to talk to you.
I'm okay with that. I'm very antisocial.
Well, for someone who knows everybody around the state, I don't know that tracks.
No, I just was born and raised in this state. It was kind of uncanny, though.
It was. I think the weirdest instance of that I've ever had was when I was stationed in Japan a million years ago. I was waiting around to catch a flight out of Iwakuni to go back to, I think, Okinawa, and went to get a Diet Coke out of the vending machine, and the random Marine sitting on the floor next to the vending machine was a guy who we went to the same bus stop together.
What?
Yep, in Pennsylvania.
What?
Yes, he was 4 years older than me, so it wasn't somebody like his sister was in my grade, so I knew his sister, but I had no idea what he did after he graduated or anything like that, and looked down, and there he was.
Oh my
in the middle of a random,
gosh.
Air terminal in Iwakuni, Japan.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, it was weird.
Wow. I bet you guys were just gobsmacked. Did you,
Yeah. Because I have.
What did you say? Were you like, oh, hey?
Well, I saw his, you have your last name there. And
Right.
I was like, are you, so-and-so person? And he was like, yeah. And he looked at my name tag, and I've got a very unusual last name.
Mm-hmm.
And so it clicked. And I mean, we were never anybody who had anything in common, except we grew up a block away from each other.
Wow.
And it was just like, oh, what led you to do this? How are you? How have you been? How's your sister? I mean, this is weird. but yeah.
Wow, that's bizarre.
It was. I do know one person from where I used to live before I moved to Montana has actually landed over in Columbia Falls. I haven't had a chance to get up with her, but she commented on one of my something I posted on Facebook. It's like, are you in Montana now? I was like, yeah, are you? Weird. But yeah, it's rare that Michael and I go somewhere that he doesn't run into someone that, you've grew up with or worked with or encountered. Taught. Yeah, taught. It's pretty rare.
You should run for office.
Absolutely not.
You should tell all these people to listen to our podcast and visit us on Facebook at
Absolutely.
406-411.
Yeah. You said it, so I don't have to.
Yeah?
Yes, follow us at 406-411 podcast on Spotify and YouTube. Send us an email. Let us know your Christmas plans at 406-411podcast@gmail.com.
And just to preview, we have something really special and really cool coming up in the end of January. At the end of January, we're going to have a very special interview, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So keep listening.
It'll be good. It'll be real good.
Yeah.
But you guys got anything else to add?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.